My name is Alex, and this is Will and Ella, and that's Dane and Taylor. And we're going to be singing some gathering music for you, so don't worry, you're not late, the service hasn't started yet. We're just going to be doing a little music, getting it warmed up so that you'll sound beautiful for the service. And we're going to be starting with Fire of Commitment, which is number 1028 in this book. So yeah. Alright, now if you would turn to number 118 in your gray hymnal, we're going to be singing This Little Light of Mine. Yeah, 18.
Everywhere I go.
morning.
Hello and welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Schenectady. My name is Sonia Dahl. I came here when I was in 5th grade. This is a special service today. It's the bridging service for our senior youth. It's also a special service in that we're not exactly following the order of service, so please bear with us. Join us afterwards for a congregational meeting. The senior youth will be selling pizza that will benefit our trip to Guatemala. It's free will donation, but please give generously as it's going to a fantastic cause. There are other announcements in your order of service. Now please turn and greet your neighbor in the passing of the peace. Some opening words. Who has cut a channel through the torrents, for the torrents of rain, and a way for the thunderbolt to bring rain on a land where no one lives, on the desert which is empty of human life, to make the ground put forth grass? Bacon.
So glide away on soapy heels and promise not to promise anymore. And if you come around again, then I will take the chain from off the door. I'll never say I'll never love, but I don't say a lot of things when you, my love, are gone. So glide away on soapy heels and promise not to promise anymore. And if you come around again, then I will take the chain from off the door. So glide away on soapy heels and promise not to promise anymore. And if you come around again, then I will take the chain from off the door. So glide away on soapy heels and promise not to promise anymore. And if you come around again, then I will take the chain from off the door. So glide away on soapy heels and promise not to promise anymore. And if you come around again, then I will take, 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 then I will take the chain from off the door.
is its church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to care for the earth in stewardship, that all may grow in harmony with the good, thus to be covenant with one another.
Yeah, boys. Love is the spirit of this church.
It's the spirit.
The quest for truth is its sacrament.
Sacrament.
And service is its prayer.
Prayer.
To dwell together in peace.
Peace.
To seek knowledge and freedom.
Freedom.
To serve humanity in fellowship.
Fellowship.
To care for the earth and stewardship. To care for the earth and stewardship, that all may grow in harmony with the good, thus to be covenant with one another with some peace and love.
And peace and love. And peace and love. And peace
And love, join in.
peace and love. And peace and love. And peace and love. And peace and love.
Peace.
Okay, story time, traveling us. Could you have like all the children to come down? And it would be best if we had them all sit on that side of the like little circle-y thingy. So yeah. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs. Or at least, they think they do. I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story. Because nobody has heard my side of the story. I'm Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. It's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would think you're probably big and bad too. But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is a real story. Way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig. And he wasn't too bright. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? Who in the right mind would build a house of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called. Little pig, are you in? No answer. I was about to go home without a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. like a shame to leave a perfectly good bacon dinner lying right there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better. But I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Spig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. And I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed. I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you are not going to believe this, but this guy's house fell down, just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead at the door now. Wolf's son. Now, you know, food will spoil if you just leave it there in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helper. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have had the brains in the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf! Don't bother me again! Talk about impolite! You must have had a whole sack full of sugar. You would even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed again. Achoo! Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pig! Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this thing's door. And the whole time, I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making one real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with huff and puff and blow their house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's the real story. I was framed. And now I don't really think this is in the program, I'm not sure. But we are now going to sing This Little Light of Mine, number 118 in the Gray Hymn Book. And while we're singing, the youth will be distributing bacon. Some of it is vegan bacon. Raise your hand for the vegan bacon. And for everyone, don't eat it. Yeah.
Pick up your piece of bacon in its cup and hold it. Look at it. Examine it. Think about its appearance. What does it look like? What color is it? How would you describe the texture? What would it feel like in your hand? Slimy? Rough? Smooth? Soft? Crispy? Smell the bacon. Think about how it smells. Put the bacon in your mouth, but do not eat it. Yet. What does it feel like on your tongue? What does the texture feel like now? How does it taste? How does the taste compare to the way it smells? Move it around in your mouth and notice every aspect of the bacon. Bite the bacon and think about what you taste. Now, how does the bacon feel in your mouth? Finish chewing and eat the bacon. How did it taste? This exercise is about cultivating awareness and beginning to learn to focus on the here and now. It is about being in the present moment and not missing out on it. Sometimes, much of our anxiety or fear is a result of focusing our thoughts on the future or the past and forgetting to be present here in this moment. Right here, in this very moment, those things may not need or deserve our attention. This exercise can be done with just about anything. Try a pretzel or a piece of fruit. It can also be done with just about any activity. What would it be like to notice every detail of something you normally do automatically and without much thought? What would it be like to notice every aspect of brushing your teeth or putting on your shoes? Break the activity down into its most fundamental elements. Be right there in the moment. Notice everything. Be nowhere else. Don't miss right now.
Hi, I'm Haley, and I'm going to be talking about Amanda. Fun, kind, adventurous, sort of quiet, but not really once you get to know her. These are all words that describe Amanda, but the word that describes her the best is caring. Amanda is one of the most caring people I have had the pleasure of knowing, and I'm so lucky to have her as a friend. It all started when I was a little baby 8th grader in coming of age group. Amanda immediately took me under her wing and showed me how to hold my own in a gang of big, scary 9th graders. Then she did it again when the youth group went to Guatemala. She stayed up late with me to talk about everything that had happened and everything that might. She guided my little introverted figure through streets and supermarkets and plazas that swarmed with people that I didn't know and didn't understand. When working with the kids at Safe Passage, she helped me interact with the children who I had come to help but had no idea how to. She works in the nursery during services now, and while I miss her in the youth room, I know that these kids are lucky to have her. Amanda will be attending Bay Path College in the fall to study criminal justice and defense, and I know that she will do great at it, because now she'll be taking care of the world. Amanda, I'll miss you, but I know that you'll be happy, pursuing something that you've been passionate about since the day I met you. Don't forget to visit, and I wish you the best of luck in these next 4 years.
Hi, I'm Dane Jennings, and I'm going to be talking about Paul Danielson. Paul is one of my first friends, and though our lives have gone in very different directions since our childhood, he's someone that I'm never going to forget. When you start to get to know Paul, you are struck by several things about his personality. The first thing I noticed was his quiet intelligence. Paul exudes a friendly yet powerful mind that probably would be capable of conquering the world if his brain wasn't so intensely focused on things such as engineering, school success, rowing, his family, and his friends. And his cats. And bacon. Sorry vegetarians, but the man loves bacon. Like, absolutely loves it. And then you get to know him a little more, and a certain quirky, harmlessly mischievous, and very honest person springs to life from the same body that was just harboring a somewhat distant thinker and observer of the world. And suddenly, Paul Danielson is launching a potato from a cannon that he had designed and built. Or launching his body down a zip line in his backyard. Or maybe he's fearlessly cross-dressing for a gay parade to walk with his sister and act that the toughest, most popular jocks in my school would be too scared to do, decked out in Mardi Gras beads and a flamboyant hat, grinning from ear to ear as he walks past a cheering youth group down the streets of New Orleans. That takes a lot of courage, and I respect him highly for that, because I don't know if I would have the guts to put myself out there like that. Some of my other memories with Paul are absolutely thrilling. I remember the excitement and certain amount of fear that could accompany a visit with Paul. Would we be racing down a large hill on bikes today, or maybe running and jumping off a different hill that was essentially a large pile of soft sand that would catch our bodies after feeling weightless, flying through the air like a large, clumsy bird? Or maybe we'd stay inside today and design a complex game world using his extensive collection of Legos and battle and trade with each other for the creation of a superior home, shop, and community. Paul, I honestly think that Gorgots is the greatest game that has ever or will ever be made. It's probably something I'll play with my children someday, so thank you for that. On a more serious note, with the recent hospitalization of his father, Lee Danielson, I can't even imagine what Paul's going through right now. Yet I'm blown away by the strength of his character as he continues to push forward, continues to give each day everything he has, and remains the selfless, hard-working person that I remember as a boy. Paul Danielson, I truly mean it when I tell you that you're an inspiration to all of us. Paul will be attending WPI next year, and we wish him luck.
Okay, today's third Sunday collection is for Schenectady Home Furnishings Program, Inc. Schenectady Home Furnishings exists to recycle good quality donated furniture and household furnishings, and some of those are donated by individuals and some of those are donated in kit form from local stores. And that furniture is given free of cost to low-income residents in need due to transition from emergency situations like fire and flood, domestic violence, prison, rehab, hospital, nursing home, discharge, homelessness, and mental illness. They receive client referrals from social service agencies and local clergy, and they arrange truck runs to pick up furniture and then to deliver it.
FUS members volunteer for Home Furnishings Warehouse the third Saturday of every month to construct kit furniture that has been donated to the organization. If you'd like to help out some Saturday, see me afterwards and I'll let you know how you can do that. FUS members also participate in deliveries of furniture to needy families. If you have ever participated in one of these furniture deliveries, you know how appreciative these families are to receive a few pieces of furniture for their empty apartments. To hear some of their stories, you can go to their website, SchenectadyHomeFurnishings.org, and see some of the stories of the families that have been helped. Some of the facts, as of the spring newsletter, they've helped over 106 families year to date. One evening's truck run can cost them about $10 in gas, and they use over 700 gallons of fuel per year, so it's pretty expensive to get the furniture out to these families. So when you're making your checks out to Schenectady Home Furnishings, please give generously. Thanks.
Is this on?
Yep.
so I will be speaking today about Calvin Temeshock. Alright. Now, I've known Calvin for longer than I can remember. Like, I was literally thinking about it. I was going to say, like, I've known him for 12 and a half years. But when I thought about it, I really couldn't remember. It's honestly been since before I could even remember things. A long time, is what I'm trying to say. And, yeah. And it's really been great, though. Even though I feel like over time, our personalities and interests have changed vastly, but we still always have a lot of things in common, lots of interests. When we were really little, I remember, we would always play with Legos, building all kinds of stuff, Bionicles, yeah. And of course, we played with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, good times. And when we got older, middle school age, around that, it changed. We were into pirate metal. Many of you probably don't know what that is, but it's metal about pirates. And we were devout followers of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. You might not know who that is either, but he's the supreme creator. And now that we've been high school, college, moving on, we both still have a lot of stuff in common. We both have a strong interest in EDM, which is electric dance music, and its many sub-genres. And even though we've taken different pathways, I just go to high school, boring high school, and Calvin went to college for high school, SCCC, and now he's moving on to Purchase, one of very few people accepted to the music composition program this year, which I think is really impressive. And I feel like even though we've changed so much over the years, we've always had a strong friendship and a lot in common. I guess I'm going to close by saying that I feel really lucky that I've gotten to know him as a friend, and so is everyone else who knows him.
The caterpillar sheds its skin to find the butterfly within. This kind of crazy guy from the 60s said that in Donovan. And I find the words very poignant today, the day of our bridging. Just as bacon begins its journey as a pig, and for the vegetarians, as veggie bacon begins its journey as vegetables, so we begin our journey through life. And this church has been more supportive of myself and the youth than we could ever ask for. You sent us all over the country and all over the world. I've been to youth cons as far away as Buffalo. I went to Phoenix this last summer for the Justice General Assembly, and even to Guatemala to help those who are truly less fortunate. And each one of these experiences has shaped my life in more ways than I can count. And now, thanks to you all, just as a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, or a pig becomes bacon, I'm ready to shed my teenage, pimple-faced exterior and leave for the world as an adult.
So as I'm sure you've probably gathered by now, you've seen Jonah a couple times. I'm talking about Jonah McKay. Or as I like to call him, Jay or J-Lo, or there's a lot of different names. But Jonah and I have known each other for a really long time, but I'd say the first kind of impact we had on each other was when I was in 8th grade and he was in 9th grade, and we were in, what was it, like coming of age? Yeah, we were coming of age together. So we were just kind of hanging out, and Jonah was a very different child back then. He sat alone on a couch and did not speak, ever. And then there's me, just kind of, as obnoxious as always, trying to get out there. And I decided, Lenny and I decided we wanted to be friends with Jonah. So, we'd always kind of come up to him, Jonah, hey, what's up? And he just kind of be like, and then just kind of look at us, and we'd feel awkward and we'd run away. So, we had kind of a rough start, I guess you could say. But throughout the course of that year, Jonah and I somehow became friends. And I can honestly say that that has been a huge part of my church experience, but just my life in general. Jonah and I both have changed a lot since then. We've grown up. I think we have both our fashion senses have probably gotten better. We're not less socially awkward, we're smarter, I would assume. But what I really love is that Jonah has changed so much in so many good ways, but the fundamental things that make him who he is are still the same. He's still a kind person, he's still a giving person, he's still a smart person, he's still a great friend, and I have no doubt that those truly, as his character continues to change, those truly important aspects of his personality will stay there. And Jonah's going to Washington and Lee in the fall. He's a very smart kid. We'll probably all be working for him one day. But I just wish him the best of luck. I know he's going to be really successful, and I can't wait to, if I can make the 9-hour drive, visit him, which probably won't happen, but I'll say I will. Or just see him when he comes home and just see where the future takes him. So congrats, Jonah.
Is it still my turn or has that changed? We live in a world of flux. Our lives change faster than we can comprehend, and there may never be a chance to slow down. The older I get, the more this change seems to be exponential. I'm sure the next 4 years will have dramatic effects upon me and the other seniors graduating at my side. Fuss has been a constant through my hectic and tumultuous high school years. While I didn't make it here every Sunday, the people here before you were there for me when I needed them. And I can't imagine myself without the impact this remarkable group has had upon me. I love you all, and I will never forget you. You've all changed my life in a unique and special way. While the senior youth group has been an influential and important part of my life, the faith of Unitarian Universalism has been starkly absent at times. While I agree with the church's teachings and ideas, I never developed a zeal for this faith like some of my friends. I'm not saying that I regret being raised in UU. Quite the opposite. I've enjoyed my experience tremendously. I just don't see a place for it in my life at this point in time. I doubt I will practice the faith or attend church in the next 4 years. That could change. I'll keep you all updated. I suppose I'm on the verge of my next quest to find my own spiritual truth. Until you have found it, if you do at all, I believe one should spend time discovering the adages that speak to you, teach you about yourself, and leave you questioning who you are and where you fit into the world. I'm still looking for my truth, finding a faith that fits my personal ethos and resonates inside of me, focusing my gaze and expanding my mind. I believe that I owe it to myself to explore the limits of my spirituality. I never agreed with the Catholic tradition of confirming teens at 16. Most people don't even trust 16-year-olds to drive. Why should we trust them to make a potentially permanent commitment about their spirituality at such a young age? Keeping with this idea, I resolved to wait and refrain from committing to such an important decision until the next 4 years of flux have passed. I hope this short sermonette has given you insight into the mind of me. I would describe myself as normal, but I am a piece of the truth. My existence is part of this world, and maybe, just maybe, if I tell you a piece of my truth, you will understand your own a little bit better.
you plan. Only remember me. You understand. It will be late to counsel then or pray. Yet if you should forget me for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve. For if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile, than that you should remember. You understand. Remember me. Don't be sad.
Hello, my name is Lily Perry, and I'm going to be speaking for Dane Jennings, about Dane Jennings, for Lily. Here we go. For most of my life, I knew Dane for two reasons. First, his unmistakable style and talent on the piano. It seemed as though every time I entered the Great Hall, Dane was pumping out Numb by Linkin Park. I'd always sit down on the red carpet next to him and listen, completely engrossed. Dane would sometimes encourage me to sing along or show me a couple keys to play, but I was too shy back then. Besides, just listening to Dane was always enough. Second, I knew Dane for his hugs. If you've never experienced a Dane hug, which I find highly unlikely, let me lay it out for you. The first couple seconds may be surprising. Dane does not need an occasion to pass out some hugs. In the next few seconds, you will probably think, this is nice, what a friendly guy, I don't even know Dane that well. Then comes the Dane signature. You're about 15 seconds into the hug thinking, do hugs last this long? Is it rude to pull away if I can't breathe? What's even happening anymore? Have no fear, you've simply been enveloped by love longer than usual. Dane hugs are awesome. So Dane's come away since the Linkin Park days, but his music and hugs are certainly still distinguishing characteristics. He now produces original music, both as Dane Jennings and as Cease Fire, his rap identity. I still sit on the red carpet in the Great Hall next to Dane to listen to him play, although I'm not as shy as I used to be. Earlier this year, Dane and I were entering new chapters in our lives, and I knew I could open up to him about my life. As I sat on the red carpet, I shared with him some of my most real hopes and fears, the things I don't often vocalize. In response, Dane told me he had a song that he thought I might connect to. As he played his original, The Web, I knew he understood me better than I could have ever imagined he would. This brings me to a reason I know Dane now. Years after Linkin Park and Weezer covers, now I know Dane for his friendship, I also know him for his mind. In fact, I'm so fascinated by some of Dane's ideas, I think I might add to him to my list of minds I'd like to see inside of, right after Socrates, Gandhi, and Beyonce. The best thing about a good conversation with Dane is that it's full of raw, uncensored emotion. You might have to look underneath a couple layers of sarcasm and past this weird blinking thing he does sometimes, but Dane speaks with meaning. He asks questions that provoke thought, and he understands people. When I was 15, Dane asked me if I'd ever been in love. We were sitting by the river behind the church, and I was taken aback for a moment. My answer was vague and unsure, because I didn't know that anyone would take my thoughts on love seriously at that age. Looking back, I realized that all Dane was looking for was the truth, and I know he would have taken me seriously. If you get to know Dane, he will show you new things. I spent the flight back from our trip to New Orleans with one of Dane's headphones in my ear as he shared with me his favorite band. I'm listening to Bright Eyes right now while I write this. Dane has inspired me to take more chances, prioritize my values, love harder, and go on more walks. I don't want to say goodbye to him come August, but I know that Geneseo is only a road trip away. We'll miss you, Dane, and thanks for being a friend to the end.
Hello. I'm Dane Jennings. When I sit back and think about bacon, it means a lot more to me than a crispy yet somehow chewy and extremely flavorful slice of meat. To me, bacon is a symbol. It represents an enormous decision that I made in the direction that my life has gone since that choice. I was raised as a vegetarian by my fantastic parents, Don and Randy Jennings. It was something that defined us and my sister as a family, and to me it carried a heavy ethical weight, along with the various health-related and logical reasons that go along with it. I believe that it was this idea that animals should be treated with love and respect that helped me develop empathy at a young age. I felt a strong compassion for animals and other people, no doubt fostered by the acceptance and compassion of this community. And this compassion soon cemented itself as a core of my being. I would watch videos of cows being beaten in slaughterhouses and chickens forcibly crammed into extremely small cages and feel sick to my stomach. I would then see a classmate consuming a Big Mac and feel the same disgust. Cruelty to animals was the worst atrocity that was occurring, and everyone around me seemed blind to it. Hi, I'm Dane, and I've been eating meat for almost 2.5 years. It was New Year's Eve, and I was 16 when I took my first bite of chicken. After about 10 years of ignoring and rejecting every attempt by my peers to get me to consume animal flesh, I chose in the moment that that night would be my first meat experience. Part of what went into my decision was this idea that I couldn't go the rest of my life without this category of food without ever having tried it, but mostly represented a development of my ideas and a better understanding of what I view as important. I still view the suffering of animals, specifically in terms of factory farming, as an awful thing, but in contrast to my childhood self, I think that it does not compare to human suffering. As humans, we possess the prefrontal cortex, an area of our brain that provides us the awareness of self. Due to this prefrontal cortex, our happiness is connected to ourselves, our thoughts can be noticed as our own, and our suffering is felt not just as physical pain, but as emotional agony. I ate meat after realizing that my biggest personal reason to be a vegetarian was out of an empathy for animals that didn't truly exist. I care about the other reasons that go into that dietary choice, such as its innumerable health benefits if done right, and its practicality in terms of land use and food production, but I also realize that I care much less about those things than the moral aspect of it, and after tasting certain foods, such as bacon, I became more and more convinced that I wanted to live a life as a consumer of dead animals. I'd be lying if I said that this decision was easy. All of what I've said is the result of long hours full of intense thinking and self-doubt. To change a core aspect of yourself is a risky proposition by any means, and I definitely had a few existential crises as I underwent this transformation that accompanied the end of my adolescence and the beginning of my life as an adult. However, the result of all this change is that I now know myself better, having rebuilt and firmed up my core harder than before, and I am, as a result, an overall happy and confident person once again. As our very own Ralph Waldo Emerson once said in his famous essay, Self-Reliance, "Trust thyself, every heart vibrates to the iron string." Thank you.
Hello, my name is Will Wissenheim, and I'll be speaking about Alex Wissenheim. Alex, I've known you for 15 years and 8 months-ish. You witnessed me come into the world, and you were there every time Mom was making videos to send to Grandma and Grandpa, always there to push me out of the shot. But it's okay, I like to think that I was there when you started on the path to being a director. I knew before Kira was born you really wanted a little sister, so to cope with that, you would dress me up in dresses, tiaras, and makeup, and then take photos of me. I think those photos still exist. Don't give them to Kira. There are a lot of good things I can say about you. You're a great older sister. You're patient and kind. You have a caring older sibling aura. You supported Kira and me all throughout middle school and high school. You paved the way for us. Thank you for doing that. I don't know what I would have done without you, and honestly, I can't imagine the next 2 years in high school without you. I have so many happy memories with you, of things that we've done together, all of the forced marches, hikes, up the Adirondack high peaks that Mom and Dad made us do, laughing through Christmas services and doodling on the order of service, through other multi-generational services here. Sorry, it's true. Driving all over the Capital District in my car, Xavier. Well, Mom said I could have him after you went to college. Don't worry, I'll still call him Xavier the Alex-mobile. But the thing I've loved most is making music with you. In 8th grade, you made me audition for all 3 select high school singing groups when I was afraid to. With your help and support, I made it in, and we've been singing in them together ever since. I remember my freshman year, you wanted me to try out for the musical, and I was really nervous. You taught me the music and how to perform it. It seems like you've always been a director. I've been lucky to share the stage with you in 4 musicals. And now, for your listening pleasure, a little clip of some of our musical work. You always were such a beautiful singer. You've often said that you see your life through a camera lens, and she's going to be attending Emerson College for majoring in film. And if I were directing the next phase of your life, I'd pull the camera wide on you, surrounded by your friends and family, and then do a slow pan in while wishing you continued love and happiness. Because you bring so much joy to my life and everyone else's. Thanks, sis, for always being incredible. Wonderful you. Finally, I want to leave you with this little gem, taken from your first hit movie, Dinosaur Crossing.
And now we say farewell to you. We hope sometime another movie we can do.
Alex, no matter where we end up after college, I hope we can still stay as close as we are today. In your immortal words, when you're at the top and all your dreams have come true, I hope sometime another movie we can do.
I feel like you pretty much know everything about me now after seeing that, but okay. So, in case you can't tell, I have a pretty sentimental family. We like to record almost every second of our lives, and all the people in it, whether they want it or not. And because of this, I love pictures and photographs. They capture moments in time and allow them to live preserved as they are forever. This love of photos might come from my mom. Does your mom love taking pictures, you might ask? Well, She's the woman who this summer had to buy a brace for her hand because she heard her thumb clicking the camera button so many times on her iPhone. So yeah, I guess you could say she loves it. While many people hate getting their pictures taken, it's become a fact that I have become quite used to. Don't get me wrong, I still get annoyed when I have to pose for a good 15 minutes and ask through clenched, smiling teeth, "Did you take the stupid picture yet?" But thanks to my mom, my life can now be retraced through the pictures that have been taken. The reason I bring up pictures is because the other day I found one in my room that got me thinking. It wasn't a picture that my mom took. In fact, I'm not actually sure who took it, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm glad I have it. Now, it's not because I look good in the picture, because trust me, I don't. It was taken of me when I was in 7th grade, you know, right in the middle of that awkward middle school phase. I mean, let's be real, we all had one. Anyways, allow me to describe this 7th grade Alex. She has braces and a horrid haircut, just like the one you saw in that video. It's the one where it angled up in the back, and when it grew out, the front part looked kind of like elephant tusks. But she thought she looked cool. She was terribly awkward, and her sense of fashion is atrocious. But she's smiling and posing in a Watershouse classroom next to 16 other equally as awkward middle schoolers, and she's happy. That little 7th grade Alex could never have imagined how far she would come in just 5 years, or how much this congregation would shape who she is today. Never in her wildest dreams could she fathom the joy and adventure she would experience, nor in her darkest nightmares could she foresee the pain and sorrow she would endure. Had she been given the chance to see everything that would come, I don't think she would have taken it. Because she was me, and being me, I can say that I wouldn't change anything that has happened in my life. Because every moment of triumph and heartbreak made me who I am today, and although it's taken me a while to feel this way, I like who I am. Never in a million years could that little girl have seen herself as a marathon runner, or a Poetry Out Loud state finalist, as a cliff jumper or a skinny dipper, as an active social justice advocate, or someone who was actually brave enough to chase her dream. She could never have imagined the unbelievable friendships she would come to know in this youth group, or how much pain would come with growing up, because she did get her fair share of that too. But most importantly, she could have never imagined the indescribable support from this loving community and the importance of the lessons that this congregation would teach her. Like, for example, how we must work with people, not for them, because both our physical and spiritual freedoms are bound together. Or how sometimes people won't believe you are spiritual just because you don't believe in God, despite the fact that you go to church every Sunday, but you can't let them bring you down. Or that not only is it okay to be all of who you are, but that there are people out there who will love you for it. When people walk into this space, it's an architectural and visual marvel. But for me, for the past 16 years, it's just been home. The thought of not returning here every Sunday the next year is a strange one that hasn't quite sunk in yet. This place has taught me you can change a life, and that life can be your own. This place has taught me how to love, and sometimes more importantly, how to let go. This place has taught me that sometimes a hug is the best medicine. This place has taught me that today is a great day to be yourself, so why not do it? This place has taught me I have a voice, and therefore I should use it. This place has taught me what home is. And I can never thank this congregation enough for the love, for the support, and for most of all, helping to make me the person I am today. Because looking at the person I am now, as cheesy as it sounds, to me, she is nearly picture perfect.
says this like every year, but we actually do have the best advisors ever. I mean, like, they do so much for us, even just the day-to-day things, you know. All the time, we'll be trying to plan stuff, and we just get distracted because, you know, we're teenagers. But they always keep us on track. They help us make sure everything gets done, that everybody is happy. And then they go so far above and beyond. They're just like, oh, you want to go to New Orleans? That might be fun. Or let's just go to Guatemala. And take us on these trips all over the country and all over the world. And without them, like, we just kind of be a group of teenagers sitting in a basement once a week. But with them, like, you really help make this happen. And I can't thank you enough. And all of us, really, we love all of you so much. And thank you. And we have something for you if Jonah would like to.
All right, because we're teenagers, we don't have that much money. So, instead of buying you gift cards to various home improvement places, which, let's be frank, most people do, and when they're thanking you for something, we decided to use sentiment instead of cash to tell us how much we love all of you. So for each of you, we got a book carved in the shape of your name, or first letter of your name. And inside we put sticky notes saying all the things that we absolutely adore about each and every one of you. So if you guys want to come up and get your books, that'd be fantastic.
During our lifetime, we have many times of transformation that we mark and celebrate with rituals from our Unitarian Universalist faith. Today we celebrate and honor youth who are moving from our youth group into young adulthood. And it's a ceremony we call bridging. I'd like to invite Amanda Busick-Smith, Paul Danielson, Dane Jennings, Joan McKay, Calvin Temashek, and Alex Wisenhunt and their parents to please come forward. And if you would just stand on the first rise here with the youth in front and the parents behind them.
At our child dedication service, we welcome those at the beginning of childhood into our church community by giving them roses with tightly closed buds on stems from which thorns have been removed. The buds are a symbol of life just beginning, and the thornless stems are vivid images of our intent to protect the children of our church family. Now, Amanda, Paul, Dean, Jonah. Calvin and Alex are at the other edge of childhood. I knew this day was coming, but that doesn't mean I have to accept it. And it
fitting once more to use those symbols, those images from the past, to speak to them and to ourselves. Again, roses. Not the tight buds of babyhood anymore, but larger, more vividly colored ones, closer to opening, and to full and glorious flower. The stems this time are not stripped of their thorns. We can no longer hold away the hurts and dangers of adulthood any more than we can keep those buds from opening.
As young adults, we hope that what you have learned here over the years gives you tools to live by, tools such as values by which to measure the worth of your lives, decision-making skills, and the knowledge of how to think for yourselves, a heritage of the right of conscience and the need to act on what that conscience demands. And finally, a religious community in which to test and refine the possible directions of your lives. And so, we give you something with which to handle the thorns you may encounter. Gardening gloves.
And as you are so fortunate to know, life is sweet. And ours is a religious faith with a vision of creating a paradise on earth, and thus chocolate, to eat and enjoy yourself and to share with others as you share our faith in the world.
We also give you a symbol of our faith in your church community to remind you of how much we love you. It's a chalice.
Today, we voice our commitment to building a stronger community, to building a bridge, and we ask that you build with us. As you cross the bridge between youth and adulthood, know that we cherish the energy and ideas that you bring to our Unitarian Universalist faith.
So I would ask now that the congregation repeat after me a congregational response. For your fresh vision and inspiring energy, we welcome you. For your fresh vision and inspiring energy, we welcome you. For your questions and challenges, we welcome you. For your questions and challenges, we welcome you. We make this joyful pledge. We make this joyful pledge. To stand together in our free faith with all the blessings and responsibilities it brings. To stand together in our free faith with all the blessings and responsibilities it brings. Thank you. And now Amanda, Paul, Dane, Jonah, Calvin, and Alex, as you join the adult community, we hope that you may find us allies as well as friends, and that you may continue to grow in mind and body and spirit. And now we have a tradition, and I'd like to invite our advisors and our parents, and then anyone else who'd like to join in to create a covered bridge. And we'll go up this aisle here that's to my left. So we'll have some of our adults who make a covered bridge, and then we'll have some adults who will be at the other end to greet our bridgers. So just give us a moment, anyone who wants to join in and form a bridge for our bridging youth.
As long as you want.
Woohoo! Here they come.
Please return to your seats and join us in singing hymn number 1028 in the teal hymnal, Fire of the Main. lot like life. Whether it's crispy or floppy, or somewhere in between, you don't always get it how you like it. You wake up early to make your bacon. You slave over the hot stove, braving the spitting grease from the frying pan, and you still may come out with a product different than what you had imagined. Imperfect or otherwise, you still eat it because it is bacon, and all bacon is ultimately good. And every so often, you will come across a perfect strip of bacon, a perfect moment that suddenly explains all of the imperfect moments, all of the burnt or undercooked pieces that prepared you to truly appreciate this one perfect slice of bacon. Even after it is eaten, it will give you your future bacon cooking a purpose. Even after it is gone, that perfect moment gives you something to strive for, a reason to tackle another day. I'll extinguish the chalice.
For we, each of us, deserve everything, every luxury that was ever piled in the tombs of the dead kings. And we, each of us, deserve nothing, not a mouthful of bread and hunger. Have we not eaten while another starved? Will you punish us for that? Will you reward us for the virtue of starving while others ate? No man earns punishment. No man earns reward. Free your mind of the idea of deserving, the idea of earning, and you will begin to be able to think.